Welcome back to the month ahead reading. This is for the month of May 2026, looking at firstly the astrology for the month ahead, and then I'm going to do cards for your sign like I normally do. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Remember to subscribe, and if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link is below. Also linked to Patreon. Join me over there on Patreon where I do more detailed posts and more frequent videos. I do the full moon, the new moon, eclipses and things like that every single month, as well as pick a card readings and things that people vote for. Thank you so much if you're on my Patreon. I appreciate it. And thank you so much to those people who recently sent me coffees on Buy Me a Coffee. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, the link is below, and I post photos of my coffees because I love coffee and I love sitting at cafes having coffee when I have time. You know, one coffee when I'm having like a moment to myself, which is nice to do. And yeah, you can see those on Instagram posts. But thanks for watching, everyone. Let's get into it for this month. It's kind of I want to say it's a juicy month. I usually say that, but it kind of is. There's a lot going on, a lot of energy here. So, you know, it's kind of a mixture of like some nice things happening, but as well as some really intense things. And just before I get into, you know, the specific details and the dates, we've got 2 full moons this month, and that's pretty rare. It's actually known as a blue moon, so interesting. And what else? Some really intense aspects. So let me get into it for you guys. And I do recommend, if you're interested in knowing what the energies are, don't skip straight ahead to the cards part unless that's all you're interested in. But this is very valuable information to know what to expect with the energies this month. Okay, so starting straight out the gate for May 1st, full moon in Scorpio. Wow. Now, the moon is very intense in Scorpio. It's really deep, it's really emotional, but it's hidden emotions. And this is happening on 11 degrees of Scorpio. So if you've got anything Scorpio in your chart, see if there's anything within range of this full moon at 11 degrees. So I'd say, look, you know, if you've got anything around 7 degrees up to 13, 14 degrees, you're going to really, really feel this. And that said, if you've got anything in a fixed sign, so other fixed signs are Leo, Aquarius and Taurus, around that range of degrees that I just mentioned, this is also going to affect you quite strongly as well, especially Taurus and Aquarius, because it's a square aspect. And if it's Leo, it's if it's Taurus, it's an opposition, so a little bit less intense, but you could still feel it through other people around you. For Aquarius and Leo, it's a square aspect, so that's like some kind of challenging energy coming up with this full moon. And you know, the moon in Scorpio is intense as it is. It's more emotionally intense than a regular full moon in a kind of deep way. So it's more emotional on the deeper part of what's going on within you. There could be some kind of transformation brewing within you if this is something, you know, very personal in your chart, where this full moon goes through, say, your 8th house, or goes through, you know, over a very sensitive point like your sun, moon, your rising sign, your Venus or Mars. It's going to be much more intense for you. And Scorpio energy, especially with a full moons are about letting go, but Scorpio is about a purge and release of energy, so an emotional release of some kind. So you may feel like, you know, you need to let emotions out, you need to write, you need to purge, you need to talk to someone that you trust under the Scorpio moon. Be careful who you share what with. Things may come to light, truths may come to light. Often Scorpio energy can be about betrayal. So, you know, maybe someone you thought was trustworthy turns out that they're, you know, manipulative or conniving or something along those lines, right? It can be absolutely those kind of things coming up, or a truth comes out that you're just like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. That's really dark, you know, about something to do with family or someone close to you. So just be aware of these kind of things can be brewing, and I'll go into much more detail and for every single sign for that full moon on my Patreon. The link is below if you'd like to join. And like I say, every month I do in-depth readings on the general info, what to expect, and all signs. But I need to skip ahead because this, you know, this is a different video where I cover off everything for May. So I'm going to go into the other stuff. So on the 4th of May, we have, I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, it's Mercury moves into Taurus on the 4th of May. So this is where the mind becomes more visual. So creativity can flow. It's a very wholesome kind of focus for when you have Mercury in Taurus. You like to focus on what feels very real and what feels genuine, authentic. You know, you're not interested in fake things or fake people, or, you know, people that are disingenuous. You want the real thing, and you don't mind not having something in your life if it's inauthentic. So these are the kind of thoughts that can be coming up from May 4th, and Mercury tends to spend you know, just a couple of weeks in a sign. So it will move into Gemini later in the month, where the mind will actually speed up, and that's happening on the 18th of May, where Mercury goes into Gemini, which is a change of pace, much faster energy. But, you know, with Mercury in Taurus, it's a nice time to do something creative. If you're a creative person, it's a good time to paint. It's a good time to do photography, to work on the visuals in your home in terms of, you know, interior design or things of that nature. Also, it's a good time to slow down and enjoy, you know, that cup of coffee, enjoy that slow breakfast with family or a friend, you know. It's about quality, not quantity of things with Taurus. So the mind is going to be focused there. Also, it's going to be focused on money and love when Mercury's in Taurus. Those can be, and not money just for the sake of accumulating money, but in some kind of sense of, you know, something meaningful. So maybe you're thinking, okay, I need to save for something specific that I want, a goal that I have, or you know, you maybe want to sell stuff that you don't use anymore. It's going to someone that needs it. You know, things like that can be also in focus. But it is more of a slow down energy, because the mind has a preference for peace when it's when Mercury is in Taurus, inner peace. So focusing on that is going to be kind of, it's going to feel essential. And then when it moves into Mercury, it's going to shift things up a bit, and it's going to be more about the quicker pace of things and, you know, social connections and quick interactions and things like that. But Mercury in Taurus from 4th of May is more about appreciating and slowing down, and that gratitude for simple moments of enjoyment. Calm communication is also favored, by the way, with Mercury in Taurus. So that, and also practical application of creative ideas, and, you know, what you're spending, how you're spending it. You know, you might be feeling inspired to spend money on things that bring you joy or make you feel good. Okay, moving on. So then on the 7th of May, Pluto goes retrograde in Aquarius. So this is important for people that are ruled by Pluto. So if you're a Scorpio rising like myself, or you've got strong Scorpio in your chart, or Pluto is in, you know, 10th house for you, or an angular house, 7th, 1st, 4th or 10th, you're going to feel this more strongly. But anyone that's like a Scorpio plutonic type person will feel this, as well as Aquarians. Okay, and what will you experience? Well, when Pluto goes retrograde, we tend to we can be focused on our personal power, but in a very internal way, and start to process things internally more around, am I using my power authentically, and am I able to express my individuality in this relationship, situation, workplace, whatever it is, you know. And obviously in life things are not perfect, but it's definitely something that's going to come up as some kind of issue for you in some way. And those signs that I mentioned, Scorpio and Aquarius, or if you've got Pluto placed in a prominent part of your chart, first house, fourth house, 7th or 12th, not 12th, 10th, you're going to feel that as an important thing that you're processing within yourself. And you're going to be very aware of like the subtext of things, what people are not saying, how you feel in relation to others. Do you feel that they're over dominating you, or are you over dominating them? You know, whatever it is. So it's all that kind of stuff. And remember that, you know, true power is not dominance over another person. It's the power that we have within ourselves that we utilize. So interesting, when Pluto goes retrograde, we do process a lot and work through a lot of stuff. And it will be retrograde for a number of months as well. Next, we have the new moon in Taurus at 25 degrees of Taurus. Interesting. So that's on the 16th of May. That is sextile with Jupiter, but also conjunct Mercury and an out of sign conjunction with Uranus. Like I said before, I'll go into more details on Patreon around, I'll do a video for that new moon with all signs and explain all the aspects, what they all mean if you want to know more. But if you've got anything around 20 or 21 degrees of Taurus to around 29 of Taurus, possibly some Geminis might feel it if you've got 0 degree of Gemini. There's some kind of new beginning with this new moon in Taurus for you that could be quite positive and symbolize some kind of breakthrough. Moving on, the 15th to the 18th, so just backtracking one day because I said the 16th of May was the new moon, but the 15th to 18th, now this is a harsh and sort of very raw energy. Mars in Aries conjunct Chiron in Aries, 27 to 29 degrees is affected of cardinal signs, especially Aries, but also if you've got Capricorn, Cancer or Libra, you know, we'll say between 26 degrees and 29 degrees of those signs. When Mars aligns with Chiron, there's some kind of wound that's coming up, and Mars can feel like being under attack, you know, whether it's verbally or with Chiron, that is. Someone says something that really triggers you in a really intense way, and it really can spiral. You know, the situation can make you feel like you're spiraling emotionally or in some other way. Protect your energy. It's not a time, if you've got Mars, especially in Aries between 26 to 29 degrees, to be reckless with yourself, physically or otherwise. Be cautious at this with this energy, and as I said, especially Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, any of those degrees. If you have early degree of those signs, you don't need to worry so much. If you're like early Mars in Aries, early, you know, Cancer or Libra or Capricorn, not so much. It's more the later degrees. But that's something to be cautious of, and not to have like a really strong reaction. You don't want to add fuel to a fire, so to speak, with this energy, because it can really become something that becomes, you know, a real problem for you, and it sort of becomes more of a wound in some way. If you utilize this energy carefully, it can be more, you know, if you reflect on yourself, it can be more of a healing opportunity. Then the 18th, Mercury enters Gemini, like I said before, so it's more of a fast-paced, chatty, quick interactions, and then moving on. That's very Gemini energy. It's like a bit of talking to that person, a bit of communication here, and then, you know, it's that the mind needs to be stimulated and free to sort of roam, you know, have those quick interactions to feel a sense of levity and brightness. And so Mercury in Gemini also is favorable for learning new things, for sharing information with others, quickly absorbing information, then sharing it. And it can be a little bit frenetic though, so because socially, you know, things are so fast paced, and because Uranus is in Gemini, this can be a bit too zappy, a bit too much mental overstimulation. So, you know, watch out for overuse of your phone when you don't need to be on it. Phone addiction is going to come up for a lot of people from the 18th. It's such a chronic thing these days. Like, everyone's just got their heads in their phones. And sometimes I'm walking down the street and I look around me and I think every person's got their head in their phone, like walking. It's so bizarre. But at the same time, it's just so commonplace. It's a weird phenomenon. It's good. You know, I've got a lot of Taurus in my chart, so I tend to try to like stop myself from being in that zone. I mean, sometimes, you know, I am walking somewhere and I get a message that I do need to check, you know, as like everyone else, right? But sometimes it's good to just unplug a little bit, and you're going to feel that need to do that with Mercury in Gemini lining up with Uranus in Gemini from the 18th of May. Let's see exactly I forgot to write that down when that's exact. It's really only exact from the 17th to 18th of May when it can be felt most strongly. So that could be a time when you're like, I'm just going to turn my phone off and just read a book. I've actually been doing that lately too. It's so great just to sort of get off that sort of, you know, whatever it is that you're doing on your phone. For me, I do a lot of, you know, with my businesses on my phone. So I'm, you know, texting. Sometimes people are texting me late and I'm booking people in, you know, at 10:30 at night. And sometimes I'm like, that could have been left till tomorrow, but, you know, it's just habits as well. So anyway, I digress. But yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people are going to feel that around the 17th, 18th, that overwhelm. But other than that, it can be quite buzzy. It can be good for social things. It can be good for catching up with friends and chatting with people and sharing ideas and thoughts and things like that. And socially being more interactive with others. The 19th of May, Mars enters Taurus, where it's in detriment. So that's kind of a slower energy for Mars. It's more of a frustration energy with Mars going into Taurus. But, you know, on the one hand, you can find that you feel this need to slow down a bit and do things more methodically and step by step. Nothing wrong with that, but it could just feel a little bit slow and a little bit frustrating. You know, this is a type of energy where if you're used to being in traffic and, you know, moving pretty quickly, if there's things slowing you down, you can feel a lot of frustration. So it can be tense for the fixed signs. So Scorpio, Leo and Aquarius. 20th of May. This is a lot of stuff, guys. I feel like by now I'm usually onto the card section. But anyway, I'm almost done with this. 20th of May, Venus enters Cancer. So that brings this focus to some nostalgia, memories of the past, connecting with family, friends that you've known for years, that feeling of wanting to connect with people that, you know, that you've got that history with. That's when there's Venus in Cancer energy or there's Cancerian energy around, we tend to favor the past or we tend to idealize the past, or miss people from the past, whoever they are, whether they're out of our lives in this realm or crossed over the other side. You know, a lot of stuff from the past can come up. Especially Venus can be about love as well, and childhood memories and things like that potentially. So it depends on you, obviously, how you feel that. But it's nice for the water signs. It's a harmonious energy for the water signs, and especially for the 22nd, when Venus in Cancer does make a harmonious trine to the North Node in Pisces. It's lovely for the water signs, especially if you've got anything around 4 degrees, because that's where the trine is happening, at 4 degrees of Pisces in Cancer. This is like a smooth flow of energy coming your way, something nice happening, a nice connection with someone, a nice communication, or someone offers support, or you help someone with something. It's just a good energy. It can be creative flow as well. 2 more things to mention. 27th of May, Chiron goes to the critical degree of Aries. Wow, it's been a ride. We're getting towards the end of Chiron in Aries. In June, Chiron goes to Taurus. So, you know, we've had Chiron in the energy of the masculine energy since it's been in Aries, and yeah, the masculine collective has had a lot to learn, it seems, and it's been hard for a lot of people, especially if you've got cardinal signs: Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer. But anyway, so being at that anaretic degree from the 27th of May, it could show up things in society that seem very harsh or very edgy or very intense. And Mars energy is about fighting, war, defensiveness, can rule things to do with like sudden flare-ups, sudden anger, sudden rage, things of that nature. And the last item on the list for May is May 31st. There's a full moon in Sagittarius at 9 degrees, making an opposition to Uranus. So that's also an intense full moon. And if you want to know more about it, please come follow me on Patreon, where I delve into, like I said, the full moons, new moons, and there's 2 full moons this month, so there's going to be extra work for me doing that, but I don't mind because I love what I do. Let's look at the cards, guys. So let's look at for your sign. So first I'm going to do the fire signs: Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. What's the energy for May? There's a cockatoo outside that's just screeching constantly, and it's been doing that for days. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because someone in my building has been feeding them, the cockatoos, and then those people are at work, and then it comes. I think it's that, because I've noticed people upstairs feeding them, which they're not supposed to do. Anyway, let's refocus. Fire signs, what have you got? You have the 9 of Pentacles, nice, and the 6 of Cups. Oh, that's very like Cancerian energy here. I think that might be Venus in Cancer. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we have 9 of Pentacles as well. So it seems to be for the fire signs, there's a combination of energy around doing your own thing and enjoying your own company, and also being there for others and sharing with others, that kind of energy as well. Focus, and there's also focus on goals, business, work, and progress that you're making in your life. That's nice. Let's see, I'm going to get you an animal card as well. I haven't used these for a long time. What's the animal message for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius for May? This one. Kiwi. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. So for fire signs, walking can be really healing for you right now. If you've been stuck inside and just on a computer and working and things like that, get out into nature. If the weather's, you know, decent for it. Obviously, if it's snowing where you are, you may not want to do that. But nature is healing for you right now, fire signs. So you may have already been doing that. So it's just a yes on that. Let's see for fire signs what the Ocean Oracle message is. Not quite. Didn't quite feel that. Fire signs. Oh, something's trying to put. No, too many. I just want one card for the fire signs. Just one, please. So this one. Oh, it's 2 for some reason. We have the crab with lateral thinking, and you have the turtle with protection. Okay, that's nice. So let's do some Astro dice for the fire signs as well. So if there's something going on that's stressing you out, fire signs, it's saying with lateral thinking, and I feel like also using your intuition, you can actually find that you can protect yourself from some harsh energies around you at this time. It's really important for the fire signs that you stay focused on what your goals are and not let other things distract you or pull out your energy, because it could be pulling you away from what it is that you need to get done right now. And there's stuff that you need to get done, fire signs, apparently. Mercury, Leo, 4th house. Okay, so for some fire signs, Leo comes up here on the Astro dice. Obviously, when that happens, that sign has a particular message. If you're a Leo, there's something to do with family and children, or those closest to your home life as well. Can be working from home, stuff going on like that, or balancing work from home with family obligations, things like that. And there could be, for the fire signs in general, there could be news from family members or hearing from like a sibling or something, someone that you haven't spoken to for a while, something like that. Look, it is saying here, I am getting this need to be balanced here with your own personal things that you're doing for yourself versus giving to others. So trying to balance that, or balancing that, is important for May. Focus with work. So there might be certain important deadlines coming up for some of you with work, or there just may be like a lot more work in focus. That's what I'm getting. And there's something here. I'm hearing like problem solving something. So lateral thinking and protection. There may be something that's a bit stressful that you feel like, okay, well, I want to hide away from it. See, because crabs and turtles are both creatures that hide in their shell, and you might have Saturn in Cancer in your chart or something like that. This is asking you not to hide away. It's saying there's something with lateral thinking that you can actually problem solve, and you'll be protected anyway, so you don't need to hide from it. Interesting message there. Unexpected for the fire signs, because fire signs tend to tackle things head on, but depends on your chart, obviously. But yeah, interesting messages for you guys. All right, let's move on. Let's do the earth signs. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn for May. Ooh, jumping cards. All right, so we have the 9 of Cups and the Tower. Goodness me. For the earth signs. Wow, that's really intense. So the 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment, but this is the Tower with it. That's a very unusual combination that I have to say I've hardly ever seen this combination. So what I'm seeing here for the earth signs so far is something is like a wish is coming true, but it's coming through something unexpected, like a Tower moment. So what I'm getting, and it's just going to be general because obviously, you know, lots of different people watching, but what I'm actually getting is if there's something that you want to happen, it's saying that it will happen, but it's unexpected in the way that it's coming about, and it could actually come about through something dramatic that occurs, or something that's intense that you're like, oh, why is this so intense? And then it's like, well, there's actually a silver lining is what I'm getting. Gotta love a silver lining. That's really interesting. It's such a strong message. Some of you have an intuition about it. Oh, you have wedding that just jumped out. This is to do with soul connection for some of you. Soulmate connection. Yeah. So it may not be specifically, look, some of you might be getting married. It may not be specifically a wedding as such or a marriage. It's more like your soul that is deeply connected to another person's soul. There's something coming to fruition around it, and it's coming through something dramatic, or something that has been dramatic, or something that, ooh, you've been protected from. Interesting. I just felt the need to get another card. Spirit helpers, white light, shield, peace. You've been protecting your peace in a situation, and maybe you've had to stay away from a situation that's been difficult, or you've had to keep your distance from somebody while they're going through something that's very heavy, and you just know, like, you don't have the resources to be actively in their vicinity, that you have to protect yourself at this time because you've been through a lot. And especially for Taurus, because Taurus, and I know because I'm a Taurus, we've been having Uranus in our sign for the last 7 years. It's, look, let's just be real, it's been hell. It's been hell. And, you know, it's like, I can't say much more than that. It's, you know, everyone's experience is going to be so different with it. But anyone that I know that's also a fixed sign, not just Taurus, but Leo, Aquarius, or Scorpio, has been going through it. They've been going through it because of the Uranus aspect. But Taurus has been copying it, and yet, love this, you've been protected. And so something's coming to fruition in May, and it's like it's time. I'm hearing it's time. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what that is for you. It's going to be interesting to see what that is for me. All right, let's see what else. What else it could be for May and also obviously I'm doing this for all earth signs, so Capricorn and Virgo, some kind of big change in your life. But here's the thing, it might be dramatic, but there's a wish fulfillment at the end of it, so that's nice. All right, let's see what else. Ooh. Indulge your creative imagination and magical side through some form of artistic expression. Well, that makes a lot of sense with the transits that we have, like Mercury going to an earth sign. So for you guys, for the earth signs, this can be where, because of that earthy energy coming in, you feel that you can apply more of your creativity to practical things and make it real. So this is what that's talking about. I really like that. All right, let's get, how am I going for time here? Okay. An ocean oracle for the earth signs. Oh, jumping card. Secrets. Ooh, honeysuckle. 21. So 21 may be significant for somebody. 2 and 1 is 3, which is communication. What I'm actually getting here with that blue moon happening this month and the new moon in Taurus, which is potent if you're a Taurus, but also can be positive for Virgo and Capricorn. Some secrets could be coming out, or you could be privy to a secret, whether someone tells you directly, or you have a dream about something, or you get an insight, a download, a sign, like several signs. You know, it's something like that. Some kind of truth is trying to come through to you. Let's have a look about what's this secret's energy for the earth signs. I'm going to check with Astrology. 7th house is to do with another person in your life. North node, a future path, and Sagittarius, something that you're aiming towards, or something that your spirit, which is Sagittarius, and the North Node. Maybe you've got Sagittarius North Node as well in your chart, or maybe you've got Sagittarius on the 7th house, or the North Node in the 7th house. Sorry about that noise outside. Oh my God. This is like saying that there is some kind of a revelation, an insight. Someone's going to tell you something. With Sagittarius, it feels like it's with the 7th house, it's other people or someone close to you or someone important in your life is going to come forward and tell you something that's going to affect your future in some way with the North Node. It could be a small thing that's like, I don't know why I just heard domino effect. How random. Domino effect. I don't know what that means. That could be for one person watching, or maybe several. I don't know. But I feel like that's really powerful with that secrets card and these other things that came up on the Astro dice. It's definitely something's coming out that's going to be important information for you to know, earth signs. Wow. Okay. Let's look for the air signs. Lovely Gemini, lovely Libras and Aquarius. Oh, we have the King of Swords, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We also have the Knight of Pentacles, which is an earth sign energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. So if you're an air sign, you could be, this can just be reflective of your energy here. The King of Swords is like very no nonsense, very sort of says things very bluntly sometimes, very just to the point, and can be a bit cutting with words. This energy here is more like someone that's stable, that's a bit more slow moving in their energy, and this can be some polarity that's happening in your life, whether it's happening within yourself, whether you're flip-flopping between feeling irritable and dry and cutting, and don't get bitter, air signs, come on, and then very practical and just focus on your money. Okay, so when I said don't get bitter, no shade, it's just like these energies that are coming in might be making you feel a little bit, especially with Uranus in Gemini, could be making you feel a bit on edge and a bit irritable because you've got so much energy kind of going through your system. It can be overwhelming and you can just feel like you just had 5 cups of coffee, you know, it can feel like that. And there can just be sudden things that feel a little bit intense and a bit hard to deal with, you know. So there's that. A lot of Geminis are going through a lot of life changes, by the way, just saying. But also even some Aquariuses are as well. And Libras, you guys, yeah, somewhat. You've already come out of a lot of that stuff. But anyway, so for May, I do get this polarity between your stability and your need to cut things out. That's really what I'm getting. It's like, I'm always seeing the Two of Pentacles, where it's like, oh, you know, I really want to just be free here, but I've got my security here, and it's like, what do I do? You know, that kind of energy. I feel like it's going to work itself out. And with Uranus shaking things up in Gemini for the air signs, I mean, it's more harmonious overall for Aquarius and Libra because it trines you guys. It is a bit harder for Gemini where it's like sudden. Ooh, we have mouse. I smell a rat. Oh, it says you're overlooking some important details, so pay close attention to what's going on. Air signs, pay attention. Is there a sneaky little mouse around you? Interesting how it just flew out of the deck like that. Just be careful of someone who may... Okay, so sorry, the camera got cut off, but what I was saying with this card is that for air signs, it looks like there's someone around you who may be sort of acting innocent or a do-gooder, or like, you know, that they're a good person for you, but they're actually being sneaky or undermining in some way. So look, just be aware this is not for every single air sign out there, but if you'll know if it's your situation. So this energy of mouse or rat energy is like somebody who is very sort of possessive and can also use your resources, or is taking advantage of your resources in some way. Resources being your money, you know, your time, your space, your friendship, whatever it is, right? It could be anything. Now, this can be varying degrees of how severe this is, and it's really going to depend on, you know, you knowing your situation and what's going on for you. So it's just a little bit of a warning that this energy could be not as great for you as you maybe thought it was, or you're starting to see it yourself in some way in the month of May. Okay, so let's get the Ocean Oracle jumping cards. We have Integrity, Rosa rugosa. Interesting. So Rosa rugosa, that must be that particular purple flower there. It's number 25. Interesting. I'm getting something weird with this. It sort of reminds me of the last message. It's like somebody who almost is like takes the moral high ground and thinks they're all wonderful, but they actually don't see what they do that's wrong. They sort of like criticizing everybody else around them. That's actually what I'm getting from that. And I'm getting that someone around you is not actually aligned to their integrity in some way, and I feel like you're aware of this. So but that said, though, just because they're acting like that doesn't mean that you have to sink to their level or their vibration. You know, make sure you hold yourself to your own good standards, because what I'm getting here is it's like, because there's a double message with this and this, I get, you know, you don't want to slip up around this person, because it's almost like they will make such a big drama out of it or make such a big problem out of it that then it's going to be even more problematic for you. So it's better for you to stay aligned to your own frequency that's positive. Do not get tempted to lash out or, you know, anything negative, because it's actually going to backfire is what I'm getting for you. Okay, so it's like, sort of a protective message in that is what I'm getting. Let's get one of these cards, the Cosmic Signs, or what is it? My own deck, and I can't remember. Cosmic Omens and Signs. Oh my gosh, it's an old deck now. I made this like quite a few years ago now. But anyway, let's see for air signs if there's any other message. Oh, look at that. You can't make it up. It literally flies out of the deck. Air element. Just to confirm that we are actually getting the correct messages for you guys. Communication, or communicating guidance and decisions for the air signs this month. Okay, so trust your guidance. You are getting guidance from your spirit guides, from your ancestors, from your angels. You're getting spirit guidance. You're getting also from your higher self. I'm getting. Trust that. The decisions that you make this month, I'm getting, are truly aligned to who you are. That's what I'm getting. So you are going to make the right decision, and it's going to be very obvious when the decisions start to, you know, maybe you've already made some decisions and you're already feeling, you know, a certain way, and you can see like the ball is rolling towards a certain direction, or things are unraveling, changing, you know, big changes I'm getting for a lot of air signs, especially Gemini with Uranus in your sign. Communicating is important. So that comes up as, you know, getting the support that you need. If you need support, talking to trusted people, listening to your own guidance, paying attention to your own intuition, your own warnings and things like that. So interesting, at the bottom of the deck was love. So for some of you it is to do with soulmate, divine timing, deep feelings. Did that just caught my eye? I don't usually look at the bottom of the deck always. It sometimes happens, but for some reason that caught my attention. So this is going to be about relationships for a lot of air signs, these messages here. All right, I think that I got all the cards there. I'm just going to do some astro advice for a last bit of info for the air signs. What else have we got? Sun, 11th house of friends, Capricorn as well. Okay, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. Something made me sneeze. That was weird. So the sun is about your vitality, your energy, okay, and your health as well. And the quality of people around you, because you have the 11th house in Capricorn here. So maybe you're reevaluating the people in your life, the people around you, your relationships, your friendships, you know, the groups that you're connecting with. And there is something about friends and support, so I do get that. The Capricorn energy can be about work as well. It can be about focus on work with the sun in Capricorn, getting ahead, having that routine, that stability. And something about, for some of you, maybe looking at new work situations, or if you're already in a job that you've got momentum in, it's just could be about things, you know, chugging along, and you're focused on that. You're focused on building. You're focused on your routine and the stability that your routine brings for you in your life at this time. And with Capricorn, it can be a bit heavy, you know, it can be a bit dull as well. It's not always the most exciting necessarily, but it's necessary for your focus at this time. And like I said, for some of you, there might be a new job offer if that's something that you're looking for at this time. All right, moving on. Thanks, air signs. Those were your messages. Let's go to the last group, which is the water signs. So this is for, obviously, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio for May. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, May. So you guys have that Scorpio has a full moon on the 1st of May. That can be harmonious it can be less intense, let's just say. For Pisces and Cancer, it's going to be more intense for Scorpio. And if you're an early water sign, you're going to benefit from that Venus, Venus North Node alignment around the 22nd of May. That's if you've got anything on 4 degrees of water, or around 4 degrees of water. Let's see what your cards come up as. Speaking of water, we have the Knight of Cups. Look at him, he's on his horse going through the water there. Oh, more water energy. That flipped over as well. That's the moon, which is Cancerian energy. Wow. So those two, look at that water energy that's come up for you guys. Sorry, I'm a bit off camera there. Let me just fix that. Sorry, guys. All right, so strong water themes coming through. Let's do the Astro dice on these for the water signs. What have we got? North Node, moving forward. Capricorn, work, career, personal goals. First house, your path, you. So if you're a water sign, there's a strong momentum pulling you forward this month around your work, career. Something that you're feeling ambitious about, perhaps. A new path with a new beginning. Now, the North Node can bring us a bit of a feeling of fear, though, because we're out of our comfort zone when we have the North Node. Especially the first house can, for some of us, it can feel daunting, depending, you know, on your own chart. But this is asking you to go forward now, water signs, with your personal goals and ambitions, finances, things of that nature. You guys have the wedding card as well. That's really strange. That came up for another group. I think it was for the earth signs that came up, I think. So look, it doesn't necessarily mean you're getting married this month, though. Maybe someone is, but it could be, maybe, you know, could be someone getting proposed to or something. But it's more about a soul connection that has a future aspect to it. We have North Node here, Capricorn, longevity. So it can be that you're dealing with someone at this time. Maybe you don't realize that they are going to be in your future. Maybe you don't realize how the twists and turns of life are, you know, taking you. Let's get another card from that deck. I just feel like there's one more here. Damaged, healing, distance, time. Some of you may be separated. Some water signs may be separated from someone that they are going to be with in the future. You haven't met them yet, or you're having a separation period for some reason, or there's something that was damaged and needs a bit of healing or time. But there is a coming back together. So if that's for you and your intuition's telling that, it's confirmation as well. Mountain goat. So Capricorn energy is coming up very strongly here. So maybe you're, you know, a water rising sign, but you've got a Capricorn sun. That's a possibility. Or a Capricorn moon with a water sun, could be. There's something out of balance in your life, so do what you need to do to correct it. Interesting. So what I'm getting here is sometimes there can be an overly ambitious feeling of like, I have to get things done, and putting so much pressure on yourself. With Capricorn and Saturn energy, it can be that. It's really saying take things step by step at this time. Don't overforce things. There's no need to right now. Things are unfolding in divine order. Drifting, yeah, because you feel like things have been going so slow for a long time for water signs. So this is it says sandbar. So it's like a block preventing you from going further into the ocean, like into the deeper parts of the ocean, so that you can move faster. So this is saying that you feel like you've been drifting for a while, or maybe you know, had some success with something, but you're like, I need to get to the next level, and you know, that's the mountain goat energy. I need to go higher. But you hit a sandbar here in this card. It's 4, which is like hard work. So for the month of May, if you're a water sign, you could feel like it's a hard-working month, or you could feel like you're not moving as quickly as you want to be. And that makes sense with Mars going into Taurus around the 19th of May, because that is a detriment energy. It's a slow down energy. Can feel a bit slower, a bit more frustrating. So patience is required. It's definitely second half of the month I'm getting for the water signs. Even though the Mars in Taurus is a harmonious aspect, it's a sextile aspect to the water signs. For Cancer it is. Also for Pisces, but for Scorpio it's an opposition, which is a bit more frustrating and difficult. But what I'm getting here is you will get there. It's just that if you're hitting a bit of a block this month, it's temporary. I want to say it's temporary, because what I'm seeing here, you are going to be moving forward very strongly. It's there with Capricorn, North Node and first house on your path. You are going to be moving forward, water signs, but there may be certain things coming up that are just temporarily slowing you down this month. Don't take it so seriously. Like if there's a block or some kind of delay, don't take it too seriously, because you'll be able to pick back up and then get more momentum in the coming months is what I'm getting. Okay, so that was the reading, guys, for everybody. Like I said, if you'd like to book a personal reading, the links are all below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next month. Bye for now.